Let's start the class today. Namaskar everyone and welcome to the class, to the 8th class of Yoganishta Ananda Jeevanam. It gives me great pleasure and happiness to see you all go ahead in this wonderful journey. So before we start the class, let's do the Guru Vandanam. Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Welcome everyone to another wonderful session of Yoganishta Ananda Jeevanam, a time when we are all devoted to know the journey how to reach the infinite, the time in a week or one day in a week which gives us a complete involvement in knowing about the infinite. Humans being naturally desiring for unlimited, nothing finite can satisfy them permanently, because the deeper nature of humans is to seek the infinite. And the infinite by nature can be one, just one. If there were two, each would limit the other, and neither would be infinite. Anything infinite is limited by form or attributes. Anything finite is limited by form or attributes. Anything that has qualities like shape, size, location, duration is automatically finite. A mountain is bounded by space and it is finite. A thought is bounded by time and it is finite. Energy is measurable. It is finite. So what distinguishes them is it has boundaries and that it cannot be infinite. Similarly, matter changes, energy transforms. Both depend on causes. Anything that depends on causes cannot be infinite. It is contingent and it is not absolute. So matter and energy don't qualify as infinite. Consciousness is the only thing that has no observable boundary. Your awareness is not an object in space. You cannot locate it. So the yogi's life is a methodical search for that one infinite reality. But why call this infinite reality consciousness? Everything that has no boundary at all is consciousness itself. Awareness is not inside space or time. It has no shape, no edges, no measurable properties. Everything appears within consciousness, yet consciousness is never contained by anything. Since the infinite must be boundless, the only consciousness is truly boundless. And the infinite and consciousness are one and the same. That is why the yogi living in the world keeps the mind anchored in the awareness of infinite consciousness, the one reality that is limitless and ever present. The yogi lives in the world, but the mind remains ensconced in the thought of infinite consciousness. Nothing can be Adi Ananta, that is, without beginning and without end, except consciousness itself. Therefore, there is just one consciousness, infinite, indivisible, which sustains the entire universe and simultaneously guides each one of us from within. To keep the mind attuned to the supreme infinite conscious while living amidst the ordinary duties of the world, that is the essence of yogic life. Yogic life is not an escape into the mountains nor a retreat from the society. It is the art of living fully in the world while remaining inwardly anchored in Brahma Tattva, that is Purusha Tattva, that is a continuous remembrance of the infinite. Every dimension of the yogi's life is shaped by this sole purpose. For this alignment with the infinite is the true dharma of human beings. The yogi becomes profoundly practical, outwardly engaged, inwardly absorbed in Parama Purusha, that is a supreme consciousness. Even before complete realization dawns, the very act of orienting one's life towards the infinite brings immense ananda. It's a rising current of bliss, and this pervades the surface of every event of their life. Events come, some pleasant, some painful, some bring sukha, some bring dukkha. But the yogi, the one is sincerely committed to their inner alignment, remains inwardly unshaken. The mind is absorbed in relationship with the infinite, a relationship that is untouched by the fluctuations of the worldly ups and downs of life. The yogi walks through life, but the mind rests on Parama Purusha. Such a life of bliss, and for attainment of this, the path is not easy, neither tough. The fragrance of this path arises as one begins to walk on it, and that is the beauty of this yogic life. To support this inner orientation, the yogi cultivates a lifestyle that nourishes the feeling of infinite. Whatever teachings or methods he explores, they are meaningful only in the endeavor to keep the mind united with the infinite consciousness. Last 2 weeks, we have reflected on the role of food and why it occupies such a central place in yogic life. Our entire physical structure, the brain, the body, everything, the mind, is fashioned from the food we consume. Every cell resonates with the vibrational substances we take in the body. Because the mind functions through this bodily framework, the nature of the body inevitably influences the clarity and stability of the mind. Manushya is man pradhana jiva. a being in whom the mind is primary. This is not for every living being. Animals, plants, insects, they are not man-pradhana jivas. For us, mind plays a very important role. This mind operates through the body and is intimately linked to the brain. If the body is built from impure, agitated food, the mind residing in that structure is influenced accordingly. Thus, the yogi approaches food with an awareness, recognizing what is to be eaten and what material fashions his inner nature. For this very reason, food is taken not for indulgence or for taste alone, but with an understanding of its deeper purpose to provide pure, harmonious substance for the cells, the nerves, the brains, and ultimately support the spiritual life. One eats food which is sattvic, pure, balanced. There is naturally a sense of well-being, a subtle joy in the person. That is not the joy of stimulation, but the resonance that arises when the body and mind are nourished in the right way. Digestion plays a vital role in the body. If the food sits uncomfortably producing heaviness, gas, burning, or uneasiness, the body becomes disturbed and the mind follows it. We know that. A peaceful body makes a peaceful mind, and a quiet stomach is a quiet foundation for meditation, which is very important. Therefore, as yogis, we should seek food that digests easily, sustains vitality, and keeps the inner environment calm and quieter. In a way, the simple act of eating becomes a great moment in yogic life, supporting a body that can house a tranquil mind and a mind that can remain absorbed in the remembrance of the infinite. Having said all this, the yogi regards his entire life as a laboratory. Every action, every choice becomes an opportunity to observe. If I do this, what follows? If I don't eat this, what is going to happen? Life is an experiment to become a better person every day. The yogic path is not blind adherence, but it's a conscious experimentation and ongoing inquiry into cause and effect within one's own body, mind, and subtle being. So the yogi tries everything and watches. What happens if I take raw fruits? If I take just vegetables? How is this going to affect my energy, my clarity, my inner vibration? It's not a prescription, but rather an invitation to discover yourself through this experience. Many yogis just take one simple cooked meal a day, and they slowly increase their intake of raw fruits, vegetables into meals, and they see a profound shift in their life. The body feels lighter, the nerves become calmer, and the mind becomes clearer. That is why the yogic lifestyle is both a science and art. It is a huge science And it is an art how you develop yourself and how you watch yourself happening in front of your eyes. It's a science because it rests on observation, refinement, and inner experimentation. It's an art because the yogi shapes their own life as a medium with which the infinite is realized. Before moving on this to the present class, 2 points I would like to revisit. One is the dietary points and basically on a scientific standpoint. We have discussed extensively on that, but still dairy products are very harmful. And I reiterate that please cut down your dairy products and you'll find a major difference in your lifestyles. This is very important because knowingly or unknowingly we have followed this lifestyle of taking dairy products and we really have lost the real sense of being light, being energetic, being clearer with clearer thoughts. And also sodium, which is also very important. Thus, I would say that a recommendation in yogic life is not strict elimination but mindfulness and controlling your lifestyle with not overstimulating your palate and try to lead a simple life with nature given food. When one gradually shifts towards simpler natural foods, their taste preferences begin to change. And the brain, just a second. Oh, sorry. Yes, Bhagini, I'll come to your this thing. I'm sorry. Yeah. The brain starts rewiring with the new dietary pattern. That's very, very important. Foods once seemed bland begin to taste vibrant now. And foods that were once compelling, that you cannot stop your mind out of it, may lose their appeal. You don't feel like eating them anymore. This is not because our taste buds perform a little factory reset, not because humans are biologically designed to crave only certain foods. Rather, taste is plastic. It ages based upon repeated exposure. We develop a taste. If a baby is not fed with salt, the baby, when he grows up, he would never know the taste of salt. It is a developed taste. Similarly to addictions, all addictions, it's like cigarette, alcohol, all these are developed tastes. When such food is reduced or removed, the cravings slowly diminish. Not because the foods are inherently wrong or what, but the habit and then the cravings which are aroused in your mind, they totally get a factory reset. You won't feel like eating them again. Over weeks, the tongue becomes more receptive to subtle flavors and the nervous system begins to prefer these foods rather than those foods, and there's steadier energy and less internal disturbance. With this, let's go to the recap what we have read in the last class. We have seen what is the true meaning of Upavasa. Upavasa is, Upa is close, Vasa is staying close. Upa is staying close to the infinite. Upavasa is the art of reducing all the outer noise and a sense of invoking Vairagya in your life. natural medicine of animals, instinctive fasting. We have seen that animals stop eating food or drinking water when they are hurt or when they want to rest. And fasting is a nature's built-in hospital for them and for us too. We have not given a chance for the in-house hospital to work. The inner purpose of Upavasa helps you to quieten your mind. It helps you to observe your vasanas. It increases your sattva. And Upavasa is not fasting. Fasting is only for your body maintenance and to reduce your obesity. It is a forced level of doing the restraining from food. But Upavasa is done with a liking, with a feeling to reach the infinite. That's because, why is because we'll see that. It's not starving, it's not crash dieting, it's not punishing the body. Upavasa is a powerful tool for Vairagya. It's not weakening the body, but it is strengthening the mind. And it is not emptiness of stomach, but it is fullness in consciousness. It's an elevation, it's not a starvation. The three folds of Upavasa, which is three benefits of Upavasa, which is the physical, mental and spiritual. We have seen extensively on the physical part, that is rest, repair and rejuvenate, which is very important with nowadays lifestyles. And we have very static lifestyles where food gets converted to fat easily. And it's very important we give a day to the body to clean itself. And it's important that every one of us do that. We've also seen there's a powerful mechanism called autophagy, which sets in when the Upavasa extends beyond 24 to 36 hours. I'll come to that point today. Autophagy, which is a silent mantra behind Upavasa, which there was a Nobel Prize also for one of the scientists in 1986 or 1990 who has found this autophagy and found that fasting is a wonderful mechanism to restore, to eliminate all your toxins and your spoiled cells. This has been told by our ancient rishis and yogis way back. But we have forgotten this practice in our lifestyles, and we are approaching the external hospitals, whereas we have an in-house hospital ready for us to clean and give us perfect health. Okay, let's go to today's class. I'll just get the messages. See some messages. Just a second. Brinda Bhagini, yes, Bhagini has stopped 100 pills in milk and LE products. Makes huge difference in body and mind. Many thanks for this. Bhagini, can you take 1 minute and please let us know about your experiences after stopping your dietary products? Brinda Bhagini.
Yes, Bhagini, namaste, Sarvebhyah.
Namaskara, Bhagini.
This has been in me. Many have told that they found a big difference by stopping milk products. But then the way you said, I think something really stuck in me, and that real vairagya in me worked. And I've completely stopped now, totally stopped. I'm just supplementing it with oat milk just for the satisfaction. And I also mentioned that I'm taking coffee with oat milk, and then immediately I saw your message. Coffee is rajasic. For a yogi, that is also not recommended if we want to really progress in the yogic path. So I cut down on coffee juice. In a week's time, I was able to cut it down. So just take oat milk, heat it, and just drink it with little pepper in it. It works wonders for me. or little turmeric if need be, and only twice a day, which is really doing a lot of difference. The difference I mean is my sleep cycle is very good. I was having some kind of a black dot on the edge of my right eye as well as on the left eye. I see in 10 days that has reduced. When I was going for walking, the few people who came across speaking to me said, "You look better, you look fresh," and they also spotted that black spot has gone. I felt good and I came back, and I think I should contribute to stopping milk for this change as well. Sleep, this one, and my digestion also has improved. Overall thinking is, I feel, is very positive now. There is no reaction to anything. Usually the reaction comes, but I try to hold this and in the yogic path, but then it's with lot of difficulty. But now I feel naturally I become numb to any situation that generally necessitates an immediate reaction. These are the three qualities I found by stopping this milk agony. Thank you.
That was amazing, Bhagini. I'll just put you on mute. That was a wonderful experience. I want all of you to experience that. And Brinda Bhagini, you would find yourself much, much better when you go ahead with Upavasa. And I'll train you all how to go about in Upavasa, because it is a wonderful practice which we have forgotten. It's not that it was not, it's something new. People, ages and ages, people have been doing this, and it's just that we have forgotten with our lifestyles and all. And I'm very happy to see Brinda Bhagini doing 100% implementation of no dairy in her diet. And I would appreciate she comes down on salt, sugar and oil also. She will find herself more energetic, her sleeping patterns will be wonderful. The moment you won't even yawn until you get onto the bed, but the moment you get onto the bed, you go into such a deep sleep because your body is at rest. All the food has been digested. Your organs are ready to sleep. So you will not have any insomnia, neither, and you will not need an alarm clock to get up. Let me tell you that. You make up your mind that I want to wake up at 4 o'clock or 4:30. Think twice or thrice before you sleep. That conviction stays so strong, and before your alarm rings, you're out of the bed. This has been a major change in my life, which I really, I'm out of that alarm right now. So I would appreciate you. I want all of you to experience this feeling of this yogic path and this major changes when you make in your food. You will really, you will not feel like getting back to your old lifestyle and food patterns, which you will detest it, you will resist it, and you will say you will not even encourage anything in your life. So going forward, thank you so much, Brinda Bhagini. That was wonderful to hear from you. And I would appreciate all of you to go ahead and share your experiences whenever you want to tell in the class, because it will be motivating for other members also, and they will really know the importance, because unless we don't do it, we cannot tell the change. That is very clear about that. Do it, find it out yourself. Any issue, something, let us know, and and there'll be no issues, let me tell you. You will surely be good after making the change. Okay, let me come to today's class, the misunderstanding between balance and excellence. This is why is this food system so strict? There'll be lots of questions when you enter this path. Some might say, why is this system so extreme? Isn't it too much? I would say that, for example, a student scores 100% in an exam. Do any one of us go and ask him, this is too extreme, you should score less, be more balanced? Nobody does that. Why? Because we understand that there are two different scales in life. One is the scale of balance and the scale of excellence. If someone is overeating, you can tell them, your food may be good, but eating too much is not good, balance is required. Or if someone is sleeping so much for a very long time, or someone is sleeping less, you can go and tell them a balance is required. You need more sleep or you need less sleep based upon this condition, because life needs a balance. These are matters of balance. But if someone says, your grades are too good, bring them down for balance, is not appropriate. Rather, it is absurd. That is what is happening now. The confusion between balance with excellence. Whole food, plant-based diet belongs to scale of excellence because it is pure, sattvic, whole food and plant-based diet, and it is surely excellent. If someone adds oil, dairy, spices, will it be balanced? No, it's not. Harmful foods can never bring balance in your body. Just like if one person smokes no cigarettes, another person smokes 2 cigarettes, you tell them you should get a balance by smoking 1 pack a day? No. We know cigarettes are harmful. The same way, when you take oily food or spicy food or meat or dairy, it's harmful and there's no sense of balance, question of balance there. It's a sense of excellence, either yes or no. So, this is not extremism and this is a scale of excellence. So, if anyone comes down and asks you why is the system strict, it's not strict. You are moving towards excellence. That is what is important. And we've also seen why to avoid hotel food and packaged products, because they carry a different spandana which is inherent in the food made by the person. And this vibration ultimately becomes a vibration of you. Therefore, always try to eat food made by yourself or food made by a sadhaka who shares the same values, sincerity and purity. So, whole food plant-based diet is excellent and it is not extreme. And excellence should never be compromised. Okay. This is very important because you would face these questions down the line when you are in this diet. There will be hundreds of questions which people would have to question you when you move on this path. So we have seen this also. We have observed that the person is buried under piles of files and the table is overflowing, is tired, restless, dull mentally, and work never seems to end. But this person has a holiday at work, there are no files, neat table, cheerful holiday, and clean them. So this is what happens when we give a day break to our system. We don't die just one day without one day food. Nothing is going to happen. It's just that you will not have the energy what you had the previous day. You might be a bit silent, but it gives you a chance to regenerate yourself. Your body starts working wonderfully. So we've seen the physical benefits of Upavasa in the last class. We'll explore mental benefits and spiritual benefits in this class. And when to do Upavasa and how to do Upavasa. These are also and how to break your fast. That I'll be discussing in the next class, but when to do and when and why and how to do the Upavasa. Physical benefits, we have seen this, digestive rest, autophagy, metabolic reset, natural fat burning and weight balance, hormonal balance and enhanced immunity. Autophagy is the internal housekeeping cycle. We've seen that all the waste is collected. As you do it, it is broken down and it eats up all the things. It recycles and renews, which is an internal mission, such a wonderful machine in our body. I just wonder that how can someone make such a perfect system with no repairs if it is maintained properly. We are spoiling our system with wrong foods, wrong thoughts, wrong lifestyles. It's a wonderful, well organized, and it's a mind-blowing system when you go back and start reading about anatomy of the body. Each cell does a miraculous job, and each one is so organized with its work, and they share the load so beautifully. There is so much of help. Each organ waits for the other organ to finish its work when it starts its work, and it supports each organ perfectly. Such a wonderful system created by Param Purusha. It is mind-blowing, and many a times I am awestruck to see how it happens without even the thought of it. We don't even know we have a heart inside until unless we have palpitations. We don't even realize we have a stomach in the body until unless the stomach starts paining. We are living without the thought of each of the organs, who are working silently day and night from a birth till our death. Don't you think we need to give a day break to all of them and let them enjoy this break and move ahead with renewed energy? Yes, we can. And I know all of us will be doing it. Okay, let us come to the mental benefits. Any questions till now? Anyone has any questions? And or else I'll move ahead. Okay, fine. I don't see any hands raised. I'll go ahead. What are the Upavasa, the art of mental mastery? The mental reduction of mental diversion. Taste is one of the most powerful forces that pulls the human mind outward. You get attracted to food so easily, and that is a very important force which pulls the human mind outside. The moment taste is paused, something remarkable happens inside. The mind stops jumping outward. Internal chatter reduces. Emotional waves settle down, and attention becomes steady. This is the first doorway to Vairagya. The ability to stand apart from compulsions. We are always pulled with the worldly thoughts and worldly things. So the first step is to draw yourself inward. There's a huge inner world when we start exploring in the yogic life. We have seen all the external world. It's time we turn our journey inside. And this is the first step where we start a inner journey. Just a second. Yes. The second is increased mental clarity and focus. We know that whenever we have a food, the whole energy of the body goes to digest the food. That is why when you have a heavy meal, you just doze off. Why? That's because the whole energy of the body goes to digest the food. That's the reason digestion normally consumes a large share of body's energy. But on a fasting day, the digestive system gets a complete rest. And when this happens, the stomach and intestines are not occupied, they're free. And naturally, what happens is the body reallocates that energy to the brain. And that is the only organ that will be working that day. Believe me, all the organs are resting except your brain. That is why on fasting days you feel really mentally lighter, more alert, because the body is free from your digestive work. And this is a reason the brain receives all the energy required for a larger share of energy. The brain is the only organ working, and all the energy is to the brain. As a result, your thoughts become sharper, your memory becomes clearer, focus becomes single pointed, and that is what makes your sadhana so beautiful, your meditation. Your mind becomes disciplined. And that is why Upavasa days are so ideal for Swadhyaya, contemplation, and deeper meditation. There is emotional balance. What happens is we react to the events, and that's because of our emotional reactivity from a stimulation of senses. And when we are on Upavasa, the irritation reduces, your anxiety settles down, and your sensitivity increases. The mind becomes quieter. There is no reaction. Reaction drops drastically. Events come, go, but you don't react. You just start observing them. That is what Upavasa creates a first step of a Vairagya, where events come and go, but you're not touched with them. There is heightened awareness. That is, when the senses are not overloaded, you don't eat, you don't drink, neither you are involved in any other activity, you're silent most of the time, you don't talk much. Your awareness naturally expands. You begin to notice more and react less. The mind becomes a witness rather than a participant. And this is the beginning of Sakshi Bhava, a state where a yogi wants to reach. And this is what is the first step, how you start exploring yourself in Sakshi Bhava, because you are withdrawing your senses inward on the day. Such a beautiful way of this practice of Upavasa, which creates a mental mastery. There might be hundreds of sessions you might go and you say how to master your mind, but no. Upavasa is a very easy way to master your mind. You don't need any other external classes how to master your mind. This is your in-house hospital. Let us activate this hospital of mastering our mind. Then, returning to source, power of Upavasa, the spiritual benefits of Upavasa. This is the heart of Upavasa. Why we do that? The real reason why the great yogis and rishis have prescribed it. Living closer to the Supreme. We have seen Upa is close, Vasa is to stay closer to whom? To the divine. That is what is Upavasa. Upavasa, the outward pull reduces and the mind naturally rises upward. It becomes not a day of not eating, but a day of inner nearness. We start exploring our inner infinite. Cultivation of Vairagya. Vairagya is Viraga Bhava. Raga is color. There is no color in the sense you are not colored with the events happening around you. Many a times, events create the impact on us. You feel depressed, or you feel happy, or you're angry because of the events happening around you. But then, when you start Upavasa, You will be out of this color. There's a viraga bhavana. The colors of the world will not impact you. And this is the true hallmark of a true sadhaka. And this is what is a sign of inner mastery. Strengthening of willpower. This is very, very important. So you feel you have the willpower. The willpower into doing what right and what wrong. This has to be strengthened. You get a self-control. When you stop eating, stop drinking, there's a control which develops in you. There's a mastery of the senses, which is very important. Your senses, your energy always is expelled through your sense organs. It always tries to interact with the world. Either to the eyes, you watch something, eat something, you talk, you want to hear something. You're always wanting something to do something or other. This day, all the doors of senses are closed. You will be enjoying the internal music, the internal vibration of Paramapurusha on this day. Only because, imagine you're in a house and there's a lot of sound outside and you're playing some nice flute music in your home. Can you listen that? No. There's a lot of noise outside and there's a big uproar outside. You cannot hear the internal music. When the external noise is silenced, that's when you hear the internal flute music playing in your house. In the same way, let the outside noise be silenced. That's when you'll know the vibration of Paramapurusha inside you. There's inner lightness and joy. There's a sense of purity, a sense of nearness, a gentle bliss with no external clause. Many a times we feel happiness is through things around us or people around us, but you will start experiencing the internal bliss with no cause, and that is what is Ananda Anubhuti. This joy is not from the tongue or from the world. It's from the presence of Paramapurusha within, which is what this Upavasa is going to give you all. In telling about Upavasa in last, Upavasa is not a ritual, it's a powerful inner technology. It quietens the mind, purifies the emotions, sharpens your clarity, strengthens your willpower, opens the door to spiritual joy that cannot be produced by anything outside. If practiced with awareness, Upavasa becomes a weekly pilgrimage from senses to self, from restlessness to silence, from outer to inner. This is the true power of Upavasa. So, these are all the benefits, the physical, mental benefits, and the spiritual benefits. I would like to take a small pause here, and would any one of you like to brief out what we have learned and why is important in whatever we have learned till now about Upavasa? You can raise your hand and I can unmute you. Or yes. Yes, Mahodaya, Sam Mahodaya. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Namaskara, Mahodaya.
Namaskara. Now, let me just summarize what all I have understood. Now, Upavasa is actually one of the sadhananga, and what it leads to is it's a sort of a holiday for the body, and the whole idea is constantly eating like a machine, leads to a lot of overloading and more work for many parts of the body, and ultimately leads to diseases. So fasting is something, it's a sort of a proactive one, and it's not actually weakening the body, but it is strengthening the mind. And coming to the benefits of it, there is a physical, mental, and spiritual is what we have seen. And the physical ones are the body gets enough, the parts of the body gets rest to sort of regenerate itself. And the mental is reducing the cravings. And the spiritual one, it helps us to stay near get closer to the Supreme as much as possible. And there are, I'm just only summarizing, I'm not getting into the details of everything. Is that...
That's fine. That's fine, Mohde. Go ahead.
Can I go ahead again? Right. And what
yes,
more
yes.
I have understood is that it is not something very strict. It's something to say that when something is, the best is available, why go for anything which is just good or marginally okay, sort of a thing. And there should be no compromise when we do the Upavasa, so that we get the best benefit out of the whole thing. That's the summary of all that I could understand. By cultivating the Vairagya and better willpower, all sorts of things.
That was amazing, Mohde. Thank you so much for your inputs. And yes, if we can grasp the importance of Upavasa in our life, you will really be out of your hospital bills, out of your visits to doctors. I can surely tell on that. Provided you're not running on any other major problems as of now, like BP, sugar, or anything else. If you have some major ailments or something, you will be out of all of them, because you don't need any external doctors, which is just like, you see, animals never have any vet. Any forest animal does not have a vet, but animal in a house do needs a vet, because we are pampering it. Nature is not pampering it. So it ultimately happens that when we get close to nature, nature will take care of us. That is what is the rule. So just like every living being is taken care by nature, humans are also living beings created by nature. So let us get back to the nature benefits and try to explore ourselves and try to be in sync with nature, so that we reach our human goal of life. That was well said, Ram Mohodaya. Yes, I'll go ahead with the next part. That is, we have seen the benefits of Upavasa and when to do Upavasa. It's a very big question. Many a times people randomly do on random days, which is not right. When? What is the perfect timing of Upavasa practice? Ekadasi of every month. Why? The question, whenever someone says that, why you follow this? This should be always a question, why? That's when we start learning more. Why only Ekadasi? Why not Dwadasi? Or why not Amavasa, Trayodasi, or any other day? That's very important, because, I'll tell you why. Ekadasi, it's a 15 day cycle for the moon, and 11th day is a midday when the moon is waxing to the maximum. And after 11th day, the moon starts waning. We all know that. Okay? So, what happens is, on this lunar day, this Tithi, there's a huge gravitational force on the earth. And we see that there's a strong pull of the moon on the water bodies. If you go to an ocean, you see there's a high rise of ups and the tides rising very high on a Ekadasi day, Purnima day, or a Amavasya day. That's because every part of nature responds to the change in nature. In a similar fashion, our body is made up of 70 to 80% of water. So, in essence, our body also reacts to this change of moons waning and waxing. So you see the tides are higher on this day. The animals also take a break on this day. Some of the animals rest most of the day. And nature also, there's a change in nature because the moon has reached its maximum and then it starts waning. There's a change in the nature's behavior also. We have 2 Ekadasis per month and 1 Purnima and 1 Amavasya. A good sadhaka, many of my friends who are on this path of yoga, they do the 4 days Upavasa. 4 days are complete, but if in case you cannot do, twice a month is preferred, or at the least once a month is for sure. That's because it helps you on a longer run to keep your body active, your mind focused, and to move ahead in your path. Human mind becomes very fluctuating on Ekadasi day. That's because you also see that there's a noticeable change, increase in psychiatric disturbances also on these days of Amavasya, Purnima and Ekadasi day. So, these fluctuations need to be controlled. If not, they create havoc. That's the reason people have high anxiety attacks and people go on high tempers. That's because this change in nature is creating a change in them. So when that day, when you perform your practice of Upavasa, your senses are subdued. You will be not exposed to this anger trails or your emotional trails. So, on the most fluctuating mental day, you give your gut a break because the gut is connected to the mind. We have seen that. So, when the gut is given a break, your mind automatically is rested. And on Ekadasi day, the digestive file is also weak. We know that there are 2 types of systems in the body, sympathetic system and parasympathetic system. The sympathetic system works with all the nervous systems, with the spinal cord, your flight and flight hormones and all your other activities, reflex system. Whereas the parasympathetic system works with rest and digest. So when you eat, this system comes into place, it starts digestion and it tells you it's a time to rest. So on this Ekadasi day, the digestive file is weaker and digestion slows down. Your metabolism changes. So in body's natural tendency is to conserve the energy but not to digest. So on this day, don't load the system as a general day, but give it a break because it is already slow in digestion. Just like if you're overloaded and you give something else and you're not energetic to do, you cannot do perfectly. So, this day, and nowadays, the main issue is the gastro issue. You see, gastro hospitals are flooded with people because the main cause of disease starts in the gut. So this is very important that we keep our gut clean to have a healthy body. Autophagy. We have spoken about it extensively in the last class, and this peaks on the 11th day. So, and it is easier to trigger autophagy on this day because it helps you to clean your cellular waste, which is very, very important. Otherwise, your waste gets piled in the body. Just like if you don't clean your waste at home, it just gets piled up. And one day, it comes like a major disease. That's because we are not giving time for the body to clean. And Ekadasi is the turning point of the lunar month. That is, 1 to 10 days is the first is the building phase of the moon. The 11th day is the peak, where the moon reaches the peak, and 12 to 15 is the release phase of the moon. In the same way, the other days are not major impact, but the 11th day, there's a major impact on the body also. So 11th day is a ideal reset point for all of us. And animals show a special behavior on the 11th day. We have seen that they reduce their food, they increase their rest, they have withdrawal behavior, they just sit and relax. So they also knowingly or unknowingly show a change because they're very close to nature. In short, the 11th day has a unique gravitational, psychological, metabolical, and tidal influence on the body. The specific combination occurs only on Ekadasi, and it's very important. That is why fasting on Ekadasi is not a superstition. It's a science in disguise. It is not a superstition, but it's a science in disguise. You see that? How it says, I'm going to pull your body, the inner tide is coming up. And the stomach is saying, my fire is low, better not cook today. And it says, okay, I'll fast today. So what happens? Ekadasi is a low digestive Agni, high pranic sensitivity, and it's a best day for fasting. Okay? So, I'll just take a pause here and Ramabala Bhagini, can you just tell in your own words what we have learned in this Ekadasi day? I can unmute you. I'm unmuting you. You can unmute yourself, Bhagini, Ramabala Bhagini.
Namaskaram, Bhagini.
Namaskaram, Bhagini.
Ekadasi, the 11th day of the fortnight, it is returning to the source of power of Upavasa, and spiritual benefits are there with living closer to Supreme and cultivation of Vairagya, etc. And the human mind becomes more fluctuating. So if we can take a break and take Upavasa, the human mind will calm down and the digestive fire will become weaker. And we also see that the animals also show some special behavior on the Ekadasi day. I'm sorry, madam, I have understood everything, but I'm not able to express properly.
No, but you were really good. That's very nice. You could summarize what you have told. That's important. Because
I did understand what you said, but I'm sorry I'm not able to reproduce properly.
No, you did very well. That was nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so this is not a superstition. So people, they come and say, why you're fasting on Upavasa Ekadashi Day? It's not a superstition. It's a science which is in disguise. We understand that and we move ahead. Okay, yeah, Upavasa the right way. How to be done Upavasa? We have seen the benefits of Upavasa. We have seen when to do Upavasa and what is the right, how to do this right way. This is Nirjala Upavasa. Nirjala Upavasa in the sense there is no food, no water, it's only prana, that is your breath. That's the purest form of fasting. So you don't take any food. How it does it and then yeah. You start the day one. The day one, the previous night. The process begins the previous night, that is after dinner. Finish your dinner and from that moment you have no food, no water. The body goes into a restful state because digestion has stopped. From that moment, your system starts preparing for your fast. But before that, there's a very important thing called your sankalpa. Nowadays, we see people saying, I'm fasting, I'm taking fruits, I'm taking sabudana, I'm taking milk, I'm taking coffee, I'm taking this. No, nothing of them. If you're taking something, how do you think your system is going to rest? If your boss is giving you work for every 1 hour, saying that I'm giving you very less load, how do you think you're taking a holiday? No, you cannot. The system has to be completely shut down with nothing entering the system. It needs a very good sankalpa. That is because your body is tuned to take food every 3 to 4 hours. That is 3 times a meal. Suddenly when you say that you are not getting a food, you cannot, your mind does not accept that. So a sankalpa is very important. I start a sankalpa 3 to 4 days before Nirjala Upavasa, that is the Ekadasi day, that I train my body, saying that no, you're not getting food on the next Ekadasi falls on 1st, which is Gita Jayanti also. And I started my sankalpa 2 days before, stating that you're not getting your food on 1st, be ready for it. Every day I tell my mind, my body, be ready for it, no food, no water on 1st of December. So when you start doing your sankalpa every day, your body listens to it. Automatically on the 1st of December, when your Upavasa day starts, it will not ask for food. Believe me, for the first few hours, probably in the morning, till 11 o'clock, you might feel a bit of hunger, you might feel thirsty, a bit of thirsty, but when you say that I am not giving food and water to you today, be like that, it listens to you. And by afternoon, it is on a complete shutdown. It will not ask for water, neither it will ask for food. Whereas on a normal day, you are so hungry by 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, rather on Upavasa day, you will not feel hunger or thirsty because you have conditioned your body with your mind. That's very, very important. The moment this intention comes into the body stops expecting food and the mind becomes prepared. And your inner resistance drops. There is an inner resistance, I cannot stay. No. You make yourself right that yes, I have to be there. And this intention prepares your mind and your body. So a sankalpa is very important for Upavasa day because a day which you are abstaining yourself from all your external cravings and senses, which are external senses. Whole day, what to do? Avoid food and water completely. The digestive system goes on a complete shutdown and a repair starts. No juices, no teas, no fruits, no sabudana khichdi, nothing. Okay? Start listening to body, remain cool, stay away from sunlight and external going out because you are not on food and water. You talk less. Generally we talk less because the more you talk, you feel like drinking water. So you remain quiet. You stay inward. And on Nirjala Upavasa, generally we speak less. It's a training ground to listen more and talk less. Generally people have a habit of talking more and listening less. But this becomes the groundwork for us to listen more and talk less. And you save your energy, and the energy is diverted to upper plane. Your digestive system is completely shut down, and the body uses all this energy to digest your toxins, to clear out your toxins, and to get rest, reduce your restlessness in your mind. After hours passed on, 24 hours, if they passed on, your autophagy kicks in. And that is what is deep cleaning. Cleaning your body is fine, but a deep cleaning is required. We also do house deep cleaning. Now you have services saying deep cleaning of your house. What does it mean? It means the same thing. Every nook and corner of the intestine is cleaned. And you have very good bacteria coming up in your intestine after your Nirjala Upavasa. Breaking of your fast, day 3. That is, if it is on first is Ekadasi, it's on Monday. So 30th night, you have your last meal. I'm sorry, 29th, there's only 30 days, right? 29th night, that is tomorrow night, you have your last dinner. The whole of 30, you are on no water, no food. I'm sorry. First is Ekadasi, right? Okay. The first, you're on complete no water, no diet. 30th is your day of your last meal. And the day 3 is second. The second is the day where you break your fast. How we break your fast is a methodological thing, which I will be elaborating in the next class because that is a very big process. And it's a process for the first time, but later on it becomes a part of your job because we do Upavasa twice a month, and the first 2-3 times we find it very difficult because we are not used to it, but a discipline is required, and then your body starts listening to you. You don't need to listen to your body starts listening to you, and it's like resetting your entire system on this Upavasa day. And this to simply say, don't eat, don't drink, stay calm, stay inward, and you break your Upavasa gently. So, what happens on this Upavasa day? You're activating your in-house doctor. The doctor is there in you and he's sleeping. Wake him up. It's time you wake him up. Because we have forgotten that nature is a wonderful doctor in us, and we are spending so much of money on these external hospitals, doctors, visits, time, everything is being wasted. There's a psychological reset, zero digestive load, your gut increases, autophagy accelerates, your cellular inflammation also drops. Many of diseases are because of cellular inflammation. There's a hydration reset, your kidneys work best after Upavasa because kidneys are the one which filter your blood continuously, and the filtration, they need some time to clean the filters also. So give them time to clean the filters. Metabolic cleansing, that is the metabolic, your fat breaks down, the liver fat, fatty liver is no chance for a person who does Upavasa. There's no stock of extra fat in the body, your inflammation reduces, and on a yogic perspective, your prana flows upward. All the prana has been directed downward, that is by eating, sleeping, and all these things. So when the body is at complete rest, your prana shakti goes to the brain, and the brain is very active. Though it is without food, you have a clear vision, you can sit in meditation and you can enjoy the silence, the clarity, and the lighter feeling in you. Your senses are subdued and the mind turns inward. This is what happens on a Nirjala Upavasa day. So many things, benefits which we have forgotten all these years. I would suggest doing it for 36 hours is tough in the first time, I understand that. But if you can do for half a day, that is, day 1, you have your dinner. Day 2, if you can stay till afternoon without food and water, that's the first achievement. The second Ekadasi day, go till evening. Till evening, if you can stay without food and water, that's a big achievement. On the third Ekadasi, go for a full day Upavasa with no food and no water. And the third day, you do your breaking your fast. So go step by step. But I would suggest that all of you start your Upavasa on the next coming Upavasa, which is on December 1st, because you have to find the change yourself. I don't know how many of you are having any major health issues, but if you have sugar, low BP and all, just let me know. You can talk to me personally, you can message me personally, I can guide you on that, how to go about and all. But if in case you're feeling very thirsty, have a bit of water the first time. It's not punishing your body. Have a bit of water once or twice in the day if you cannot. No food at all. But down the line, you will not feel thirsty also. There's another procedure called Vyapaka Socha, which will not make you thirsty. I will detail that procedure in the next class, which will help you to not feel thirsty during your Upavasa, Nirjala Upavasa day, which is very common. You might stay without food, but you will feel thirsty when there's no water because your body needs water. But this prakriya gives you a very good feeling that you are out of your thirst. I had a problem of feeling very thirsty the first 2 times. I was feeling dizzy too, but then when I started this Vyapaka Socha, there was a major change and my thirst just dampened. I did not feel the thirsty the whole day. So it's a practice which everyone has to do, and you will be able to do it. Don't have a mental block that you cannot do it, because you are restricting we are restricting our growth and our health. I would suggest you, or if you can go till evening the first time, well and good. If you can stay for 2 hours in the morning or till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock without no food and water, it's a very big achievement. So start your Upavasa days. Your food habits you have started, all of you. I'm very glad on that. I would suggest, and you would, once you finish your Upavasa and you break your fast, you would see your body so light. I'll tell you detail how your intestine is cleaned completely in the next class. How your intestine is cleaned completely and you feel so light, energetic. It's like you're having a new life. It's totally, we all wait for the Ekadashi day, frankly speaking, because it regenerates the body and it's a new energy in us when you finish your Upavasa day. So that is what I have for today. Any questions or anything to ask regarding Nirjala Upavasa, you're free to ask now. I'll open the ground for all of you to ask. Yeah. Yes, Shanta Bhagini. Yes, Shanta Bhagini, you can unmute yourself.
Namaste Bhagini.
Namaste.
Thank you very much for this, today's session. I do Upavasa twice a month, Nirjala Upavasa. But I do it on a Trayodasi, not on Ekadashi, because it's a Shiva day and I'm a Shiva Bhakta. So on the Trayodasi day, I do as per the Tithi. But I have a cup of tea in the morning, and I think that's because I go to work and I need that, I get headache or, So I have a cup of tea, and that's my only thing which I have for the whole of Upavasa day, and nothing else. It does feel very light. It does feel, and as you mentioned, the Sankalpa is extremely important, because if you don't prepare your body and your mind particularly, it becomes difficult to go through that whole day without water and food. I've noticed that as well, because last time when the Trayodasi was on the business trip day, and I felt, oh my God, I have to go to the airport, I have to do this and that, and my mind was not able to take that fast. And I didn't do it because I don't like to punish my body, because it has to be for the betterment of my body. The mind should feel good when I do the fast, and that is primary. And so therefore, I completely agree on what you mentioned about the Sankalpa part. and the requirement of Nirjala Upavasa, I don't know how many of us are doing here, but it does feel very light. You feel you've come out clean. I don't know how to say it, but yes. But I don't do more than 24 hours, as you know, and I did not know about this, the efficacy thing kicking in after 24 hours. So I will try next time more than 24 hours to check this, and I'll see how it goes. But Bhagini, I wanted to ask now about when we do this Upavasa for Navratri, right? I have usually I have water and one piece of fruit as a solid meal or solid food. I mean, not even solid form. I make a juice or something and drink. But now that I know that milk is not good for you, I will avoid that in my next, Navratri fast. But how would that work in terms of the efficacy? What is that called?
Autophagy.
Yes, autophagy. Yeah, autophagy. How would that kick in? Because 9 days you fast, but I'm drinking water, and as I said, I would make a juice of one piece of fruit and have. That's all I eat in my every day on the 9 days. So how should I change that upavasa to make sure that it is better? That's my question.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Shantapani. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you are doing your Nirjala Upavasa, but you're having a cup of tea, which is again, see, I'll tell you what happens is the system waits. It's like, Saturday and Sunday is a break. You take rest on Saturday and you start cleaning your house on Sunday. It's similar to that. If you're giving a break of only 5 to 6 hours to your system, it is not ready to clean your system. Just like what we do on a weekend, you're getting an off from office, you feel okay, Saturday I'll rest, Sunday I'll do all the cleaning of the house. That is because after 24 hours, the autophagy sets in. Similarly, just as a behavior of the mind, the body also behaves like that. So what happens is you have to give it a complete shutdown. Okay, so you have to wait for 24 hours to 36 hours. That's when the major autophagy sets in. And that's the reason now people don't give a break, and that's the reason there's so much of cancer widespread in the society. Every family has a cancer patient. Can you believe that? That's because the cells are not being cleaned. So what happens is they lose their order, and that's when one cell divides crazily out of balance. So this is happening because we are not giving time for the system. It is possible, Bhagini, if you are doing Nirjala Upavasa all these days, I would suggest don't take a cup of tea. In case you want, take a warm glass of water. That's the only thing allowed in the morning. And try to stay till afternoon or evening. I'll tell you why. Because from night, that is from probably 10 o'clock, you have your meal. Morning 10 o'clock, it's 12 hours. And by night 12 o'clock is 24 hours. So it's like till 24 hours if you can stay, or till 30 hours, okay, your autophagy sets in. But the point is, if you can stay till next morning, that is the best option. But you can do it. You can do about the first part is your tea part. Okay, you train your mind. It is just training your mind because, in fact, I found myself the first 2-3 times very difficult. But then, when I started on this Sankalpa, it was such a boon. I can say that it has made a difference in my thought process as well as the way how I look at Upavasa also. Because I also went to the same stage as what all of you are going through. I used to do Upavasa with eating fruits and milk and all, which was not right. There's no point because system is working. When the system stops working, that's when your energy starts cleaning. So that is the first question what you had. The second question is your Trayodasi. You said you're doing it on Trayodasi, no issues, but Ekadasi is important. Okay, whether you do on Trayodasi or not is not my question now. But Ekadasi is important because it's a day when there's a huge pull of moon on your body and the water in your body is out of balance. So it is important you do on Ekadashi, and in addition, if you want to do on Trayodashi, well and welcome. There's no doubt about that.
Okay. I'll do that one then. Okay.
Yes, and your third question was your Navaratri. Okay. Navaratri day you want to fast, you fast as you want, there's no doubt. But make sure you go on Nirjala on Ekadashi. That is the only thing we have, because other days you fast or not is not a question. There's not much of influence of the moon on your body. So whether you fast or not, there's not much of result also. The result is more on Ekadashi day, because your fluctuations are going to be controlled. Your mind is totally under restlessness state. So everything comes to a halt on that day. So you see the maximum benefit on Ekadashi day rather than to other days. That is the only crux of this presentation. Okay. Shanta Bhagini?
Yes, Bhagini. Would not this autophagy would not, say, if you don't do all the Ekadashi and I say do 30 hours on a Trayodashi or those 9 days, apart from Ekadashi, if I do any other day, would that not still kick in autophagy? Or
yeah, it does. Okay. But the only point is it works well. It's a fortnight. In the middle of the fortnight, the exact time, and it's 2 times a month. So 15 days you're working and then you're taking a break. Another 15 days you're eating, you're taking a break. So it's regularized. It's in regular pattern. That is what it is. Okay. So the pattern is important, and your body is tuned to no food on Ekadashi day. When the Ekadashi comes, you will not ask for food. The first 2-3 times the body asks for food because it is not tuned to it. It's just like working from Monday to Friday. We are tuned to work hours. But when on Saturday and Sunday, we take a break. The same way, on 11th day when you stop taking food and water, your body is tuned to the change and it says, okay, it's my rest day. I'm not going to do any digestion. I'll just go and sleep. It's just like you sleep on a Saturday and Sunday on a working, and you work on work days. It's just like that. Giving it a pattern to your lifestyle. That's it.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
You understand, Bhagini? Dhanyawad, Bhagini. Yes. And Shailaja Bhagini, I see you have a question. You can unmute yourself, Bhagini.
Namaste, Bhagini. Namaste. Why water? Of course, you said that moon will be having, it is like a high tide period or something you said. So because of that, we should go for Nirjala Ekadashi.
Is that your question, Bhagini? You have a
Yeah. I'm asking, why water has to be, we have to stop intake of water also. Is it because the moon is having, our body is made up of 70% of water and the moon will have effect on that? That's why we have to stop taking water also. Is that the intention behind Nirjala?
Yes, Bhagini. That is one intention. And the other intention also, if you're taking water, if you're taking water also, don't you think all your organs are working?
No, because we are not taking any solids, right? There is nothing to digest.
Yeah, but it goes to the stomach, it goes to the intestine, it goes to the kidneys, the blood goes to the kidneys, the whole system is working. Okay? Don't you think, just if you take a bit of water also, if you take stomach full of water, don't you think your stomach is trying to work?
Yeah, we don't feel hungry. Correct.
Yes. So what happens is the organs are working if you're giving something to it. So the reason why we're saying a complete shutdown is there is nothing going inside except your prana. That is what is Nirjala. So the reason why we say is because you will find the major difference when you see if you're doing Upavasa with water. It's okay, it's good. But the major difference you find when you go on a Nirjala, your cells, the next day when you break your fast and you drink water, you know how your cells will respond. Your cells just bloom up like a flower in your body. You will feel it yourself. The water gets absorbed into your body like it just seems to a blotting paper. So the beauty of Nirjala is every cell has interstitial fluid. Okay, this interstitial fluid is a fluid around the cell which gets toxins and all that part. So on a Nirjala Upavasa day, what happens is the body pulls out all the interstitial fluid from all the damaged cells. Okay, and it starts recycling in the body itself, and then the cells are waiting for the new set of water. So when you give water on the third day, you will feel your cells are with such rich energy, so much of energy, and you will know the energy yourself on the third day when you take your food and your water. So it's just leaving. See, if you're cleaning the water tank, what do? You drain out all the water, right? And leave it to dry for one whole day, and then you, right? Same way, okay?
Yeah.
So
I was thinking, like mopping it with the water.
No, Bhagini, you have to drain your system on the day, just like you're draining your water tank. You clean up, you leave the water tank one whole day to dry, and then you fill it up water. The same way, the body needs to be drained completely with nothing to be there inside, and then all your systems will take time to repair and regenerate back to life. It is a wonderful procedure which we have forgotten all these years. It's something not new. It is not new, but
correct. Our elders know they have not explained the science behind it, but they just tried to infuse everything into life, and where we lost the actual essence of that.
Yes. See, they told us do this, but people, if you start explaining, some people may understand, some may not understand, Bhavani. So that's the reason they have made as a ritual. Okay, on Ekadashi, fast, don't eat rice, don't eat this and all. But that is only giving you partial benefits. It's not giving you the complete benefit. Okay, you will observe a great change in your weight, your lightness, your activity, your performance in your. It's like, your mind will be like a Manasa Sarovar. It is like complete silent. Okay, and there is no sense of a ripple also when you do your meditation on your Ekadashi day. It is such a beautiful experience, and I would encourage all of you to start at least with half day on December 1st.
One more request, Bhagini, like how to break fast. Can you throw some light on that, so that if we are fasting on fast, we have to wait till the next class, no?
Yes, Bhagini. I'll detail that. It's a bit of procedure. It's not a very big procedure, but the only thing is I want to tell you in detail, because that is very important why we do that. So what I suggest is, just break your fast by drinking some light juice or eating some fruits this time. The next class, I will detail out how to break your fast and how to do Vyapak Soch, which is very important, because if you don't do that, what happens is the complete cleaning process is not done. So I would detail out that, because and I want to tell step by step. I don't want to rush in this class, Bhagini.
Okay. That's nice. Thank you, Bhagini.
Thank you so much, Bhagini. And Ram Mahodaya, I see a hand risen. You have any doubts, Mahodaya?
Hello.
Namaskar, Mahodaya. You have any doubts?
Namaskar.
Any doubts?
See, I have a very basic question.
Yes,
it has got nothing much to do with the fasting, but about the yogic way of life itself. Can I ask that question now?
Yes, Mahodaya, please go ahead.
Yeah. See, it has been beautifully explained to us that due to the inherent harm that they cause us, we need to avoid many foods, and including those that have life and all that. Now my question is, plants have life because they grow, they respirate, they do practically many things. Now, how is it then okay for us to eat, how is it right for us to eat plant-based food, which also have life? That's my basic question.
Yes, Mahodaya, I understand this. This is a question by many vegetarians, which when they start saying that, it's always a question of debate, plant and animal-based, there's a life in it. Okay, let me explain you briefly. I'll just put you on mute, Mahodaya, okay? Okay. See, plant-based food, plants don't have a mind which is developed, okay? Animals have a mind which is developed. They respond to fear, anger, bhaya and all. Plants don't respond to anger, neither they have fear, neither they have a feeling of pain. For example, you kill an animal and eat it. the pain which is involved in the animal is very high. But a plant has no mind, and it is in a very degenerated state. It's just after a stone. A stone is totally dormant. A plant mind is just starting to work, and plant does not experience pain. If you cut a branch of a tree grows there. But if you cut a leg of an animal, does an animal leg grow again back? No, right? So the pain involved by the animal and the mind state is what matters a lot. And plants are given for humans to eat. If you see that, animals also eat plants. Okay, that is a nature's call. They don't. No one has told them to eat a plant. Okay, an elephant eats sugar canes, and many plants like giraffe eats leaves. So it's by nature that has made them its food. The similar way, and if you say a tiger eats an animal, that is a nature's preparation for the animal to live in an animal way. But they are not made in an animal way. Neither a teeth structure. If you see, a tiger teeth has it's a carnivorous animal. If you see its incisors and its teeth are used to tear the animal. They are very sharp. That structure is made so that they tear the animal skin and eat. But that's not the structure for every other animal, right? So based upon that structure, what nature has given, that's the inbuilt response and the inbuilt desire of the animal to eat what you want. But we have a developed mind. We can discern what is right for us, what is good for us, what is harmful for us. They are just following the instinct. So if you say plant is not a food, there are some animals which are eating plant food also. And on the same side, a plant does not respond to pain, neither anger or neither fear. Whereas animal responds to all those things. And when you're killing that animal, the pain, what it feels is it gets imbued into the meat of that animal. If you see, a fish is taken out of the water when they go for fishing. See the pain of fish when it's taken out of water. See how it wiggles out when it is taken out of water for life. It dies without water. The pain which it undergoes while dying, and when you eat that meat, which is the last phase when it's dying, you get that state of fear in your body. So that's in crisp saying why plant is important and why plant food is important and why animal food is not important for us. I'm glad.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
This is a question which is always asked a lot of people, and we have to be clear on that because that is what's going to drive us ahead. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ram.
Thanks.
Yes.
So, again, I want to just add on this plant thing, and
Yes.
we also mentioned that there is no mind, and but we notice that the plants which are looked after well grow well, and the plants which are deserted, as in even in our garden, you will see that they don't grow as well as the ones which you nurture, you talk to them, and it's almost like there is some sort of life in them, I believe. And yes, they grow if you cut them, and they can branch, can you put in another place and just start growing again. But there is some sort of attachment to humans. I would say that is there, and maybe that's the reason why they do pray, right? Or we ask for Shama when we take the flower off, even for puja. So,
Yes.
How would you say in that case that the plant is not hurt?
Yes, Bhagini, see, there's one thing. It is, I don't say it's not developed, it is in a very underdeveloped stage, okay? The mind is in a very underdeveloped stage, okay, compared to an animal, okay? And that's because the comparison between the animal and the plant, okay? And if you see, when you go to a higher state of your yoga, people don't even cut a leaf of a plant because the feeling that everything, the essence of Parampurusha is felt in every organ, everything around the world. So, as we are not in that state right now, the closest what food is from nature is giving us is plant-based diet. Okay, So the closest what we can live on is plant. If not on plant, what else can we live on? You tell me that. I understand that that what you say is they have life. Yes, they do respond to things, but it's in a very underdeveloped stage. But there's no sense of bhaya, fear, or anything in them. That is what is a very important thing. If you're cutting a plant, it will not go under bhaya or anger or fear. But if you cut an animal, a fish or any other animal, it has a bhaya. There's a fear factor which is there in it, and when it is hunted, the trauma which goes in the animal is very high, which is not good because it is a animal-based food. I hope you get that point.
Yes. I understand that. Yeah.
Yes, that is what
I
is the
was thinking that no leaves. I was considering plant-based as in the fruits which is given. They are for us to, but not the plant itself. So I usually feel very uncomfortable even walking on grass because I find I'm hurting somebody. Because even if there is very little life, you might think that, but still we have no right to crush and walk on the grass or, which people enjoy. But anyway, yeah, I understand that they don't get hurt. Okay.
Yes, that's very true, Bhagini. That is a main factor why animal-based food is not suggested, because it is harmful. It has fat content, and there's a factor of fear and bhaya, and there's emotions also. The animal goes under severe trauma and emotions when you're killed or when it's hunted. So those emotions come and stay in us, and you just cannot live a peaceful yogic life with hunting and eating that animal-based food. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say. Anything else? Any more questions from anyone? Or we can call it a day today?
Yes, Bhagini.
Okay, thank you so much. There's a chat session. I just see a message. Lalita Bhagini, Bhuma Devi has patience. Okay, I see Bhumi Devi has patience. True, that's true. But I'm not understanding what context you're saying. Can you just elaborate on that? Similarly, walking on grass. Okay, fine. She has patience in that. Okay, it's a perspective, individual perspective. Nothing to negate on that, Bhagini. It's an independent individual perspective. But after some time, you start feeling the essence of Parampurusha in everything, the Supreme in everything. That's when things change. But it's okay. Until unless you are not in that state, we can continue to walk on grass. It's not a problem. But that's okay. That is perfectly fine. Grass is on this bhumi. Daily we pray. That's right. Similarly, walking on grass. I don't deny that. Samudra Vasane Devi. Okay. Can you unmute and talk, Bhagini, if it's not an issue? Lalita Bhagini? You can unmute it.
Namaste, Bhagini.
Namaskara, Bhagini.
As soon as we get up in the morning, the first thing we do is we rest our feet on this Bhuma Devi, that is earth. So we are told to chant the prayer, Samudra Vasane Devi, Parvata Stanamandite, Vishnupatni Namastubhyam, Pada Sparsham Kshamaswami. Pada Sparsham Kshamaswami. Please pardon me for keeping my foot on you, on your earth, on this Bhumi Devi. That is what we pray every day. We are told to chant that. So I just wanted to share this. If you want, I can tell this. Yeah.
Yes, Bhagini. Yes, we do that. It's very important.
I will do that on the WhatsApp. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Whether you do it or not, it's a different issue. But down the line, you build up that feeling of supreme in everything. Because once you start this journey, you will not need any chanting also. Let me tell you one thing. You will be out of the chanting. Chanting is something which you have to. Why do you think you need to chant? That is because you want to train your mind. Okay. The chanting is a method to make sure your mind is focused. Your mind is not diverted anywhere, and you're focusing on the Almighty whom you're praying. So when you can achieve this through your sadhana, your food habits, and your upavasa, which is going to train your mind just gets absorbed in the Parampurusha. You just go silent without words. That's when your chanting stops outside. You will not need any chanting outside when you start your journey inside, because the inner journey is a silent journey. It's not a noisy journey. Okay, so let me stop here on today's class, and it's been a wonderful journey with all of you, and thank you all for your wonderful questions. I'm glad, and your questions make me stronger in my foundation, and I learn more from all of you, and each one of us are going to learn from each of us, because this is a journey together. All of us are going together. It's not a one-man journey. We are living as a holistic, as a big family, as a yoga family. So let's move ahead, and I would like to hear your experiences of Upavasa on 1st of December for the next class. How much you can do, whether it's for 1 hour, 2 hours, or 5 hours without water and food. Just let me know so that I can help you, and we all can move ahead in this wonderful journey. Okay? Summarizing today what we have learned, the misunderstanding of why this food is so extreme. It's a balance versus excellence. Upavasa is the art on mental mastery, how you have to train your mind. We don't need any mind workshops which people are attending nowadays. Returning to your source, that is the power of Upavasa, how you return back to your original, where you have come from, the goal of life. When is the perfect timing for Upavasa practice? Ekadashi day, it's a science, and it's science behind fasting. Upavasa, how to do the Upavasa, what is the right way, the day 1, day 2, and day 3, and the summary of benefits of Nirjala Upavasa is what we have discussed today. And our journey is going to continue. The next class is on 5th December. And in class 9, I'm going to explain you how to break your fast in detail. What happens when you break your fast, and how is your body going to respond after your Upavasa is a very important step, and how you have to go ahead for the next Upavasa also is very important. So, and there's another practice called Vyapaka Sauch practice, which will be detailed, and this is to be done daily, and it's more helpful on Upavasa day, which I have found it personally. I'll elaborate that in the next class. And with that, we'll offer everything of us, good, bad, happening, our learnings, unlearnings, everything at the feet of altar of the Paramapurusha. Tava dravyam jagat guru tubhyameva samarpaye. Om Gurave Namaha. Dhanyavadaha. See you all in the next class, next Friday. Thank you all, and Dhanyavadaha everybody.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಭಗಿನಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಭಗಿನಿ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದः. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಮಹೋದಯ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದः.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಭಗಿನಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಭಗಿನಿ.